Welcome to this video lecture where we are going to learn about half-range sine series in the interval 0, pi. Till last class we were examining about Fourier series, which is a summation of cosine series plus sine series. But in physical phenomena, in many situations, we may need to represent the equation of motion only in terms of cosine series or only in terms of sine series. So in such situations, we may need to find the half-range series for such problems. So first let us see the definition of the cosine series and sine series in this class. The half-range cosine series in the interval 0 to pi is given by f of x equal to a naught by 2 plus summation an cos nx, where an is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x dx. So if you observe this, we have only the cosine terms, not the sine terms here, which actually would have got derived from the original Fourier series by assuming the function as an even function, that is the even extension. So that is why we know, like, for even function bn will be 0. So from there we get these Fourier cosine series. Similarly, we can get Fourier sine series also. So Fourier sine series in 0, pi is given by f of x equal to sigma bn sin nx, where of course bn is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x sin nx dx. Now let us do some problems in finding half-range series. Take the first one. Evaluate the half-range sine series for unity function in the interval 0 to pi. And hence we need to deduce value of some series that we'll see later. So the solution is given function is unity. So f of x equal to 1. Now first let us write the formula of half-range sine series. It is given by f of x equal to sigma bn sin nx. Because it is sine series, we have only the sine series term. So we need to find the value of bn alone here. So that is given by this formula. 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x sin nx dx. So first we shall find bn value. The integration is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x sin nx dx, and we are just substituting the value of f of x as 1 here. So what is it? Integral sin nx. So when we integrate sin nx, that is a basic formula, we get minus cos nx by n. So we get this term. Yeah. Now we shall apply the limit. What is the upper limit? In the place of x, we need to put pi, minus in the place of x, we need to put 0. So that is what the meaning of applying the limit. So we have 2 by pi minus cos n pi by n minus cos 0 we will have. And what is that cos 0? 1. Since it is minus, it becomes plus 1 by n. And remember, there is a value for cos n pi which is minus 1 per n. So let us substitute that. And now we can take that n common in the denominator. We have like this. And you remember, whenever we have term of this sort, 1 minus 1 per n, it will become 0 either for odd integers or for even integers. And when you look at this term, it is becoming 0 for whenever n is 2, 4, 6, etc. So that you have 1 minus 1, 0. So this is becoming 0 whenever n is even. And similarly, when n is odd, what will be the value? Yeah, 1 minus the minus 1 power odd term will become totally 2. So 2 into 2, 4, 4 by n pi. So this is the value of bn. Now we shall substitute the value of bn in the sine series. The sine series formula is f of x equal to sigma bn sin nx. So what is the value of bn? We got 4 by n pi. So we just substitute that. Hence this is the sine series answer. Now we need to deduce certain series values. So let us take the first one here, 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5. So the series value we need to deduce. Now look at the pattern of the series. Like in the denominator we have a number, odd integers of course. So when you look at the series, the sine series answer 4 by n pi we have. So there you're not having like 1 by n there. So the idea is like we can get this series just by substituting some value for x. Remember like what are the values in sine terms will give you like plus 1, minus 1, etc. Yeah, these are the terms. Sine pi by 2 becomes 1, sine 3 pi by 2 becomes minus 1, and sine 5 pi by 2 is 1. So all these basic formula already we have seen in the first lecture. So the idea what we get here is we shall substitute x as pi by 2. So put x equal to pi by 2 in equation 1. We get 1 equal to sigma 4 by n pi sine n pi by 2. Now just taking that constant 4 by pi out, we have like this 1 by n sine n pi by 2. Now let us expand this series 4 by pi into, when you put n equal to 1, you have sine pi by 2 plus what is the next term, because n is having values only 1, 3, 5 odd terms only. So the next is n equal to 3. So when we put n equal to 3, we get 1 by 3 sine 3 pi by 2 plus 1 by 5 sine 5 pi by 2 and goes like that. Now substitute the values of sine pi by 2, sine 3 pi by 2, etc. We have 1 equal to 4 by pi, 1 into 1 plus 1 by 3 into minus 1 plus 1 by 5 into 1, etc. So from here we have the answer for the required series 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5, etc. as pi by 4. Let us see the second deduction. Here we have summation n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by 2n minus 1 squared equal to pi squared by 8 we need to get. Now when you look at this series sigma 1 by 2n minus 1 squared, when we expand it, what does we get? 1 by 1 squared plus 1 by 3 squared plus 1 by 5 squared, etc. Because the 2n minus 1, as you all know, this represent odd integer. So we need to find the value of this series. So we shall use Parseval's identity, because here we have 1 by n squared pattern. So when we may need to square the Fourier coefficient. So whenever there is a situation of squaring Fourier constant, we have to definitely use only Parseval's identity, because only in Parseval's identity we have an squared, a naught squared, bn squared, all square terms of the Fourier constants. And since this is a sine series, we have a y bar squared equal to half sigma bn square. Usually in Parseval's identity we have three terms, a naught squared by 4 plus half sigma an squared plus half sigma bn squared. Since this is sine series, we will not have the first two terms, so we have only the bn square term here. Now before going to the Parseval's identity, let us first find the value of y bar squared. So y bar squared is actually the RMS value which is given by this formula 1 by b minus a integral a to b f of x squared dx. So let us calculate this y bar squared, which is 1 by pi, because a and b are the interval limits. The interval is 0 to pi in the problem. So it is actually 1 by pi minus 0 we will get from 0 to pi f of x. What is the function f of x? 1. So 1 square dx, which is equal to 1 by pi integral just dx. And when you integrate this 1 by pi integral dx is x, from 0 to pi we have to apply the limit, which is pi minus 0 by pi, which is equal to 1. So the value of y bar square is 1. Now we shall go and substitute in the Parseval's identity. Before that, what is the value of bn? We got 4 by n pi, and only for odd integers. So substituting these two values, that is y bar squared and bn, in Parseval's identity, we get the value of y bar squared is 1, which is equal to half into sigma bn square. The value of bn is 4 by n pi. When we square that, we get 16 by n squared pi squared. So from here it is very easy. 16 taking the 16 term out, we have 8 by pi square also, because the pi square is a constant. We can take that out. So inside the summation we have only 1 by n square. So from here we have the summation value as pi squared by 8. Now look at this summation. Sigma 1 by n squared is the same as 1 by 1 squared plus 1 by 3 squared plus 1 by 5 squared, etc., which is the required series we wanted. So the answer is pi squared by 8. So student, I hope you would have understood how to find half-range cosine series and sine series, especially in the interval 0, pi. Hence, I feel you can solve these problems easily. Just try it. Today we learned about half-range sine series in the interval 0, pi. And in the next class, we will learn about half-range cosine series in the same interval. Thank you.